Solo Leveling Arise Overdrive, the fast-paced action RPG based on the popular solo leveling franchise, has just been released. Head on over to Steam to begin Sung Jin-woo's epic journey to become Shadow Monarch today.
Yo, what's up? Welcome to Kind of Funny Gamescast for Wednesday, December 3rd, 2025. I'm one of your hosts, Blessing, Addy Elliott Jr. Joining me is the Nitro Rifle, Andy Cortez.
Hello, Blessing.
Hello, Andy. How's it going?
I'm great, man. I'm great. I got some stuff rendering. Got a lot of goaty things cooking. Got a lot of smileys cooking. Got a whole lot of stuff getting ready for 2026.
A whole lot of stuff getting ready.
Blessing and I in the meeting room yesterday doing in a conference room. I got my feet up. He's got his cup of coffee and a cigarette.
Yeah, dude. And they said no smoking inside, but I disobeyed.
Yeah. I was like,
I disobeyed.
Give me one of those. I mean, like we're just both smoking cigarettes in there.
God, don't you guys wish we could smoke?
No.
In what way?
No.
So cool.
Like we could do it without the consequences?
Oh,
yeah, exactly. The cancer or the death.
That would be pretty sick.
Yeah.
That's also Greg Miller.
Hi.
Is there a reason why you're sitting there and Andy's sitting here?
I feel like whenever
he played the most.
I was gonna say when you have somebody who's gonna talk a lot, I like having him there. Because when it's like
person in the middle doing this
exactly.
a lot,
when you're bopping around trying, because you're gonna ask a question about the review. I'm gonna talk to you, but then I'm gonna try to include Andy, so I'll turn that way. It's just easier this way.
That makes sense.
I like when you try to include me like that. Makes me feel good.
Love you, buddy.
Thank you, man. Love you too.
You didn't get the message today. It's crew neck day.
I didn't get the message.
Crew.
No.
We're the crew.
We gotta do some other temperature in here.
Fuck, it's cold.
It's been so
now
cold
we
this
can't.
week.
Well, here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's because of all the technology. It's got to be cold, and it can't go.
I think it's just the outside weather, isn't it?
Well, that too, but I mean that's why it's cold in here.
Yeah.
But you remember the old studio where it was just melting, so it's like we can't complain too much about it being too cold because I get it. We're lucky to have it cold.
But I think it doesn't have to be this cold, right? I think it's just like the thing of
as the person who has to like make sure we pay the heating bill. Yeah, I think it does. Yeah, I think it does have to be the.
More so like the thing of like it's
5,000 square feet is really expensive to heat. Bless.
Yeah, but like we just didn't adjust the temperature as the year got colder. You know what I mean? Like outside gets colder, but we stay the same. And so I feel like we just got to find a standard. We'll talk about
Let's
it.
just gain weight.
My biggest issue, you turn that heater on and it's like there's no happy medium. When the heater's on, the heat is on. It's hot as fuck. Like it just gets really, really warm in here when the heater is on.
Yeah.
And it's like it'll be on for 5 seconds and it's like, ooh, already like I'm feeling it. Like it's so bizarre. That's weather, man. It's crazy.
I feel like we're almost there because we figured out earlier in the year.
Why don't you just? Here's what I'm saying. Just join the crew neck boys for a week and see how that goes.
Mittens.
Well, I'm like,
you got a t-shirt.
coat.
You got a t-shirt on, so you're getting too much heat. But Andy, use your hands to exhibit what cold air does to a jacket like that. Go inside his jacket.
It's very confused by what
That was a weird way
I
to
thought
say
you
it.
wanted me to feel like this.
Yeah, I was
you know?
thinking like, that's crazy. We got a review to talk about.
We do.
All right, let's talk about Octopath Traveler 0. Because remember, this is Kind of Funny Gamescast. Each and every weekday, we get together and talk about the biggest reviews, previews, and topics in video games live on YouTube, Twitch, and on podcast services around the globe. We don't do that on this show.
Why are you giving in to
Daily
Tim?
thing.
Why do you give in to
It's a
Tim?
Games Daily thing. It's a Games Daily thing.
I think I didn't do that a couple times, and it was like it's a game, but it was mainly because I forgot.
If you love what we do, support us with the Kind of Funny membership on Patreon, YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts to get all of our shows ad-free, watch us record them live, and get a daily exclusive show. It's funny, I took out the watch us record them live thing, but I can't remove it from my brain.
Yeah.
Because that isn't a thing anymore. You can watch us record things live all the time on Twitch. It's a
Yeah.
cool perk if you're just anybody.
I mean, YouTube.
YouTube, yeah.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
And
Spotify.
did you
Well,
know
no,
if you
not
have Amazon?
Spotify.
They ain't live streaming to Spotify yet.
One day.
Yet.
One day. For a chance to be a part of the show, submit your thoughts and opinions as YouTube super chats as we go. Housekeeping for you. We're an 11-person business all about live talk shows. Before this was KFGD about Eidos Montreal, horses, and Bionicles. After that was a screencast about 2026 movies. And after this episode of Gamescast is going to be the stream, which is going to be that Elden Ring Night Rain.
Can I interrupt for 1 second? Sorry.
Yeah, go for it.
Over here, I've never seen this on Twitch before. I know you guys stream more than me. Ken Jr. 61 gifted a sub to Creed, which is great. But then it says they've given 476 gift subs to this channel. That's awesome.
Ken Jr. is
Thank you, Ken
unbelievably
Jr.
supportive.
Thank you so much,
Ken Jr. also, because of the amount of subs that they've given out, has won like a lot of different giveaway stuff during the different marathon streams.
Yeah.
I didn't like so Ken Jr. won one of the Silk Song drawings and asked for the Green Prince and the dancing, I forget the hell, whatever its name is, from Silksong. Drew that for him, and then he posted an image of like, hey, I got it framed. It looks awesome. And then I realized, oh, you also you won a drawing of Rayquaza during the Pokemon marathon stream. I was like, damn, putting in the work. Thank you,
Great job.
Ken Jr. for
And to be
keeping
clear,
us in business.
I want to make sure because people are shouting out Ken Jr. as they should. I know Ken Jr. I've never seen Twitch say over their
really?
lifetime they've given out 461 subs.
Yeah. It's
Crazy.
pretty impressive stuff.
If you're a kind of funny member, today's Gregway is about the relief of finally being able to talk about an embargoed video game.
It's this one.
Thank you to our Patreon producers, Carl Jacobs, Omega Buster, and Delaney the Psalm Twining. For now, let's start with topic of the show. It's a review, a video game review for Octopath Traveler 0, coming to you from the creators of Octopath Traveler and Octopath Traveler 2. They finally made the
Square
0 one.
Enix.
It used to be
Square
Project Octopath, remember that?
Remember? Yeah, Project
Yep.
Octopath.
And that gets a working title. And then you know what we're going to
Wait,
do?
what was the working title for? What was Triangle Strategy?
I think that was also I think that was working title Triangle Strategy, and they're like, we like this one too, actually.
Oh,
Triangle
shit.
Strategy.
Wait, so that's a different game.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's HD 2D, but it's more tactical. That's where the strategy comes in.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Shoot, you're right.
And it's the
Okay,
whole triangle thing.
I like that.
Octopath Traveler 0. You're the protagonist of the story this time. That's different.
Yep.
You choose your appearance, your voice, motions, and your favorite dish with a new character creation feature. Greg Miller,
Hello.
you've played Octopath Traveler 0.
I have.
What are your top level thoughts of Octopath Traveler 0?
I have played 70 hours of Octopath Traveler 0. Rolled credits at like 55 hours. And I'm using a little fast and loose here because I'm going off the Steam number on the outside rather than the game save number because, things change. And this game is amazing. This game is a 9 out of 10.
Wow.
Even 70 hours into this game, I will continue playing this game. And I think the highest praise I could possibly give it is that this is now my game of the year.
Whoa!
Runner. We'll see if that ends up when we get to January and we submit our top 10s and go to the whole thing. But I adored my time with Octopath Traveler 0. It was definitely a game I started up and was like, I was concerned, number one, because of course we did an episode of this very show this year in the past 6 months, right? That was like, I got to stop trying to play turn-based RPGs. I just can't do it anymore. And I was, of course, talking about Expedition 33 there, but I brought up Persona 5 fatigue. And in that episode, I called out the fact that I love Octopath and Octopath Traveler and Octopath Traveler 2, but even those games, I had never seen all the way through to credits. I'd never actually beaten. I'd put in a bunch of hours, loved my time on them, but constantly got sidetracked. So getting this one, it was all right, let's try this again. And is it going to be another thing that I do 20 hours of, 30 hours of, and then, get distracted by another review? And instead it has been a month nonstop of playing this. Annoying Jen, if you missed our review of the ROG Ally X, a device I truly love, it is so fucking loud. My wife calls me Mr. Clickety Clackety and throws me out of the bedroom now when I'm playing it because I'm there fucking boosting up my points and unleashing my attacks and doing the fucking thing in Octopath Traveler 0. But absolutely adore this game and am so happy with it.
Andy, what are your top level thoughts?
Well, okay, so this is a weird one because this is one that I hadn't even planned on playing. Like many turn-based games, look at it and go, okay, probably not for me. Or maybe I'll hop in, much like I did last year with Metaphor Refantasio, and go, I see I see why this is going to be a lot of people's goatees, but I'm 15 hours in and I'm about an eighth of the way through or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm good, right? And this one did kind of catch me off guard because Moonlighter 2 doesn't play super great on Steam Deck. And I was going on a trip to New York and was like, hey, I'm going to want to play something on the way over there. Greg, can you just give me a code for Octopath? Because it's got city building. And I'm kind of fascinated by that concept. And I like the art style, right? And so he got me a code and it kind of, it grabbed me in a way that I wasn't expecting it to. And I think that the game is still like, my top level thoughts are, you shouldn't expect, Shakespearean writing in this video game. And that kind of throws me off, and that's why I dock it points, even though I don't necessarily plan on finishing this game. I've only played it for about 23, 24 hours.
Okay.
Only. And but it kept me going in a way that I wasn't expecting. In a way that I feel like I could have dropped off and played a lot of other stuff in bed on the Steam Deck. This game kind of kept me going in ways that surprised me. I do enjoy a decent amount of the combat. I think that the story is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
The writing and dialogue that gets you there, not so much. I won't put a score on this because I'm just not quite there yet.
Scratch the surface.
Yeah, I'm
20 some hours. Which
Yeah.
is a ridiculous thing to say.
Yeah, which I thought, like, as I'm making my way through it, thinking, man, I'm making really good progress, and it's not what you think. But it surprised me in a lot of ways that, like, especially for somebody like me, who normally drops off of games like this, I was like surprisingly into it.
I barely touched it. I'm here to host. I'm here to ask questions.
Do your thing, man.
I played the first hour.
You're here to complain about how cold it is.
Yeah, I'm here to talk about the temperature in this office that was changing throughout the year because we're getting into the winter months. I played about the first hour, which, funny enough, I think I've done for every Octopath Traveler game.
Yeah.
I see it, I'm like, oh, that looks cool. I hop into it, and I get so intimidated by the length and magnitude of these games. But I wanted to try this one out because of the city building stuff. I remember that from the trailer, and that looking like a cool system they had going on here. And then it was Greg that I think I talked to where you were into the game. So I was like, oh, how's the city building stuff? And you're kind of like, that's fine. It didn't seem like that was one of the standout things. So that for me, that was enough to go, I don't know if I have it in me then to want to play 80 to 100 hours of a JRPG like this right now. But Greg, I want to come back to you.
Sure.
Because you saying this game is your game of the year is huge, especially coming off of what you just mentioned earlier in the year. You're talking about turn-based, all this stuff, not maybe hitting for you in that same way.
Yeah.
Go off. Like, tell me about what is it about Octopath Traveler 0 that uplifts it to this level for you?
And I do want to interrupt because I did walk by his desk
You're welcome.
as he was playing Octopath. And this is like the third time I'd seen him playing Octopath. And I'm assuming I was there for the podcast. I was there for the story time with Greg.
Yeah.
I'm shocked that we're on day 2 or 3 of this right now.
Yeah.
And I said, damn, a lot of time for Octopath, and you kind of just, didn't really give, you bounce off Expedition. And he laughed and said, I'm a piece of shit. I'm sorry.
I get that. It's that thing where it's like, I know that's
Sometimes
for so
things
many
hit.
people, and you know
Yeah.
how it is. Like, as we went back, and I mean, if you want to bring up the comparison right away, like Octopath to Expedition, clearly I know Expedition is going to be everyone's game of the year in the world in the year 2025. Understandably so. It's a great game, as I've talked about. I totally see it. It's a work of art. I get all of that. For me, it was just, and I think this is where Octopath comes to your point of why does this one work for me so much. Octopath marches to the beat of its own drum, which is a trite thing to say, but the way it does its storytelling, its world building, its setup of what's going on here, I never felt disconnected, to compare it to Expedition, from the main storyline, the main quest, the main objective. For me in a video game, I like being a character, and I like knowing this is my motivation, this is what I'm doing it, right? When we go back to Expedition 33 and me and my criticisms of that game, I think that game opens so strong, right? The Paintress, oh my gosh, the Goumage, all this stuff. This is awesome. This is awesome. This is awesome. And then we get to this section of the game where it goes RPG of like, cool, now there's this man made of straw that we're helping, and we're running and we're making jokes. And I'm like, why are we? What the fuck is going on? Everyone
There's a
just
crisis.
people, the love of my people I love killed in front of me. I'm here on this beach. All hell, I almost murdered myself 10 seconds ago. You know what I mean? Like I want that. And so, and this is, I know there's so much to it, and don't get me wrong, this isn't about talking shit about Expedition, so please don't get hung up on that, everybody in the chat. Octopath's deal is, first off, for me, comparing it even just to the last 2 Octopath's games, right? Because this is the third one, clearly. You create your own character here, and that is your character. In Octopath and Octopath 2, 2 games that I do love, you, of course, get 8 playable characters in there, hence the name Octo, as you go through and have their interwoven stories connect and do these
I
things.
didn't put that together.
Well, and of course here, spoilers.
You didn't rate.
For Octopath Traveler 0, of course, you now have 8 playable characters at all times. So you have the character you created who never leaves your party. Then you have 7 slots to fill in battle. You have so many other characters because you're bringing them into their town.
Andy, you never put together the Octopath was because there's Octopath.
There's 8 paths.
There's 8 paths.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And you're a traveler.
Wow, they're so deep.
And so with those
Wow.
games, and I think one of the reasons that, first off, I fell off of those back in the day, and I say fell off when, I put in 30, 40 hours to each one or whatever it was. Like, I would fall off of those because I'd be so into Primrose's story. This is so fucking good. And then I'd be like, all right, cool. You've finished that chapter. The next chapter is 5 levels above your character level. So it's time to go off and do the other quest. And then the other quests weren't as good. And I didn't connect with it. I didn't love this. I wanted to stay with that thing. Octopath Traveler Zero, giving me my character that I get to create. Andy made a joke about it, or you did, Bless, I think, of making you choose, you immediately from the customization screen, you do the stuff of what you look like, blah, blah, blah. Then a little bit of your background in terms of what your job
What was your favorite dish?
And then what is your favorite dish, which you then name, which is the nerdy ass shit I'd be into of like, what does your mom make? Why does this food matter? Like that kind of writing your own backstory to it. And
Got a
then,
little that pollo for me. Yeah.
is that you put?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, for me,
Little
based on
chicken
the
soup.
image, it looked like beef Wellington. I was like, beef Wellington. But then you go into this town of Wishvale, right, where your dad's there, you've got a bunch of friends, you've lived your entire life, this is great. And then the 3 villains of this game, like, they have been introduced before, they're introduced here, they're here for these rings of power. And a similar, like, oh, that's fucking, I never put that together. I didn't pay much attention to the story of Octopath Traveler Zero because you put Octopath Traveler in the title, I know I'm going to play it. So when they were when we saw the debut trailers and stuff, and you saw the Zero, I never put it together that the Zero is a ring. Like the Zero is a ring because this is all about these rings of power, and it's like I don't think you should have connected it at this point. But when you play the game, maybe you should have.
The title of this game is blowing Andy's mind.
So like when you were going through and doing this damn thing, right?
Actually, I'm sticking with this. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with this.
You go through. So the
That is a ring.
the bad guys show up, they burn down your town, and they like if you've never played an Octopath game,
Wait, it's not a prequel?
it is a prequel.
Oh, it is a prequel. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
Did I screw it up? What did I-
No. Because when we point out it's a ring, I was like, wait, isn't it called Zero because the fucking ring? Or
No, it's also, and it is, they've talked about this in interviews. It's a Zero because they're doing the Yakuza Zero thing or Yakuza Zero. Like they want new people to be able to jump in here and not be hung up on, I didn't play the other one.
But the image of the Zero is a straight up ring. Holy
Yeah, it's a
fuck.
ring. Yeah,
This
yeah.
goes deeper than we could have ever imagined.
They come in, they burn down your town as that you see there, you flee, and then you come back with your childhood best friend and decide that you're going to rebuild the town. And for me, that was such a great jumping off point to what we're doing here. What is the purpose of my character? My purpose is that I'm trying to get the band back together. We've scattered to the winds because these people burned down our town. Let's go find out. Let's figure out who's alive. And where I was driving a second ago that I got lost, sorry. If you've never played an Octopath game and you look at it, and of course, if you're an audio listener, I assume you know what this game looks like. If you don't, this is the HD 2D art. This is the 16-bit stuff that Octopath Traveler dropped originally. We all went slack-jawed. What the fuck? And now Square's done it a bunch of times. You've seen this everywhere, da-da-da. But like, they're the originators of it. So it is a...
But sometimes the squirrels are different, like pixel
Sometimes the
size.
squirrels are different.
Really throws you off.
Have you talked to him yet?
I talked to the other one,
What do you
the
say?
one on the bottom.
What do you say?
I don't know, just like
Squirrel?
or
Right,
something.
see, well,
No.
have you talked to him?
Shut the fuck.
Oh my God.
God.
It goes deeper.
You go into this though, and it's like a very cutesy game. It's cutesy, 16-bit art, blah blah blah. This game jumps into slavery, child, there's murders left and right, like talking about selling your body. Like they're like, this isn't an adult game put through this, I would say, chibi filter, even though I guess it's not chibi technically, right?
Which is where my problems are.
Okay. You want to jump in?
I'd love to.
Because it sets up the stage that way. And then for me, again, serious themes are being tackled and the stuff's happening. And I'm having to break the news to people that their kids are dead or their parents are gone or what.
That's pretty
like,
sick.
So it is this idea of like, again, Wishvale at the core of it. And I want to come back eventually, and I will because it's one of my cons. The town building stuff, I'll come back to because you are making Wishvale. It ends where it should be in terms of like making me care. Don't worry. What's your complaint?
It's on your Enjoy Cons.
It's both.
Wow.
Have we made the graphic yet?
Enjoy
cons.
We got to do that.
Wow, I missed an
The
episode.
things that you enjoy and the cons, the pros and cons.
okay.
Enjoy cons.
Enjoy cons. I like it.
So you bringing up, Greg, that how adult the story is. I agree. I like it. In my list of things that I enjoy, it is the story. I think the story so far is awesome. The things that happen in the story are awesome. But it's got the writing of a Pokemon game. And it's so hard for me to, even though I am still enjoying a lot of what happens, it's so hard for me to differentiate those two things. When I go into a Pokemon game, I know what I'm in for. I'm not expecting my face to be blown off with crazy soliloquies and like amazing bars of just like, whoa, holy shit, what a great, like, I know what I'm in for. I know that characters do stuff because of the convenience of the story, and things rarely ever make sense. And you run into a random guy in a bar, and he goes, "Oh, hey, you must be so and so. Want to take on this quest to fight this one guy?" And like, it doesn't make sense, but you know what you're in for, so it's kind of just a video game, right? And the game is so dark and so serious, and there are crazy, fucked up things that happen. But it's just the writing that it's so hard for me to separate those two things of like how awesome the things are that are happening, and the words that are being delivered to me are just straight out of a Pokemon game. So that's one thing I warn people that. Yeah, I also did turn off the voice acting because I wasn't super impressed by it, but also the lack of quality writing for me just exacerbated, like it was exacerbated by the voice acting of like, sure. I feel like this is even worse than it is because a human is talking and saying these words and it sounds so dumb, and like these situations just don't make sense.
Is it the tone of it being this pixel art, like 16-bit styled JRPG, or do you think it's even beyond that? Because I know, what was the PS1 game that you really liked that you talked about
Vagrant
recently?
Story.
I know Vagrant Story is like one that really hits for you.
Yeah. I mean, like stories like that really hit for me, and like the way the writing works hits for me, but the way that characters, you know, if you've ever played a Pokemon game and you walk into a building and they go, "Oh, you must be the new trainer in town. Go fight so-and-so and it's like, none of this makes sense in the real world, and like these things wouldn't happen in a realistic situation. People just don't walk up to you and just say like, "Oh, you know, take whatever you want out of my, you know, refrigerator," or whatever. But you know what you're in for with a Pokemon game, and I just feel like tonally that's what I'm getting here. Even though
Have you played the other Octopaths?
No,
and
I heard that they are like that as well.
That's my thing.
Yeah.
I've read Chaim's review today. The GameSpot author's name's escaping me. I read their reviews and going through it, and it's interesting to see people's different takes and stuff. And yeah, I think that's an interesting one. I don't have that complaint here, but as somebody who's played the other ones, I feel like I had calibrated.
Yeah,
I wasn't coming in expecting like amazing writing.
Yeah, and that's kind of where, you know, I would just say, if you've never played an Octopath, manage your expectations, because if I were getting this level of writing in Expedition 33, I'd be really let down by it.
Interesting.
Now, the stuff that happens in the story, fucking awesome. And I see somebody saying like, Andy likes Dragon Ball Z, so I don't understand this. It's all about expectations.
I think it's
when I watch an anime, when I watch My Hero Academia and dumb shit is happening, I don't care because it's an anime and I know what I'm in for. But I think because of how dark and messed up and serious the story is, to be met with writing that just feels like really, really lacking, that's what kind of bums me out.
One of the things, if I can,
go for it.
Cool. That I think calibration and why this game works again so well for me, right, is I want to use two examples, a movie and a TV show, all right? This is a humongous game, as you know. It's hilarious to see Chaim's review is, I put more than 70 hours in, but it's a review in progress. I still have to do this and blah, blah. Like, Octopath Traveler 0, and one of the reasons I love it and the way it's structured and the way it's set up is a trilogy of movies in one game. Where legitimately you finish this thing and like, all right, cool, that's gonna be it, and then it's like Back to the Future 2. The fuck it is. We got to worry about X, Y, and Z, and like, holy shit, you get done with that. That's when the credits roll. That next big part, the credits roll. You come out of that, and now it's like, cool. Here's the third movie that's following up on all the stuff that's happened so far of like what happened after X, Y, and Z, and blah blah blah. And you go off and do that. I love that and how it's jam-packed, but the actual way it's jam-packed, I was, every night I go to bed, I drift off thinking about this moment, reviewing this game and talking about it.
Yeah.
The best comparison I could have, and I think this applies to the writing, expectations, and dialing yourself in, is that when I was recapping one night, everything that happened in that one night of play, right, versus where we were hours and hours and hours ago, it dawned on me, I'm like, oh, the reason I love Octopath and the way this game is going is because it's Nashville. The fucking TV show Nashville. If you remember when I was obsessed with Nashville, the joke was that Colin watched an episode with me, went away, came back 2 episodes later and was like, what happened with that thing? And I was like, oh, that was settled in that episode. And then he's like, the way this show, one episode of this show is like a half season of another show. And it's the idea here where, yeah, I think the writing or whatever and the plot beats get boiled down, and again, they do chapters, right? That's what you go off on this quest, and it's prologue, chapter 1, whatever. And there's parts to them and all this stuff, but they move at a quick pace. But the payoff is, I think personally,
Nashville is a JRPG.
yeah, I think hours later, it's coming back and meeting that character again and seeing how it's changed. And oh my god, like I just had it at my desk with a moment where I went on one of these quests or whatever, bump into this character that I know extremely well from that first movie, and I'm like, oh hey, they're like, wait, what's going on? Oh my god, that happened because of X, Y. Oh, that's cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How that's changed and evolved, and nobody is safe, and they can all be killed. Nobody really matters, with the exception of you.
Now I will say, once I got past the calibrated period, that's where I started enjoying myself more and understanding what I'm in
What you're
for and what
playing,
this
yeah,
journey
yeah,
is. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I also in my enjoy cons. Things I enjoyed. I love the story. The story just does some batshit stuff.
If I can,
surprises a lot.
I want to toss in. Kevin was running the villains trailer. Again, I think that is such a strength of starting this game and setting off on this quest you're on and this journey you're on. That these three motherfuckers who have a hand in burning down your town are so delightfully evil. They chew the scenery. August pops up, marvelous, and it's like I can fucking I see him and hear his line.
Yeah.
And again, I never turned the VO off, and I never found the writing bad. I expected it to be what it was, and so I fully bought in. Like I knew what I was getting into, so I love all three of these folks and how they are and what they are. For me, in terms of enjoy cons, the con right is that I think that second movie thrusts you into this civil war all of a sudden, which for me was, we weren't fully removed from, I'm here to get Wishvale off the ground. Clearly, this is affecting the continent, right? We got to get Osteron. We got to make sure they're safe here, whatever. But it still was, I don't know if I'm fully bought in, but then I was shocked by the fucking end of it, that I was like, damn, we did something here. Like, we fucking did something, and yeah, this does matter to me in the way they view me, and you're the chosen one, they call you in this game or whatever. You name your own character, they can't say your name.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of great shit here that really is, the more invested you are. And I'm just going, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
Back to town building, which is another big part which we've seen multiple times up here. Wishvale, rebuilding it, doing your damn thing here. That's cool, and I love the thing, and I love bringing people back together. I love watching them meet each other again. What about so-and-so? And, like, they didn't make it, and everybody gets sad. There's a whole bunch of pull-at-your-heartstring gravestone moments up in this place. My problem with is you see it right now, the town building. It takes so long to get it fully opened up. It was, like, Monday, I think, where I was celebrating right before I went on a podcast, that I finally maxed the town out, which finally gave me unlimited rule to do whatever I wanted to. Where up until then, like, it's very much pulling back.
It's a progress blocker.
It's pulling back the reins all the time of, like, you do this thing, so now you can this new section you can go through and change up, and it's like, okay, but by the time I got to it all being open, like, I've already put shit everywhere. Like, do I need? Is there a reward? Is there a reason for me to go in and really get into the minutia, which is what I had wanted throughout it? I wish I had had access to the entire town early on to lay it out, to put down my gravel roads and choose this style and do this thing. At this point, I'm so far gone. I'm kind of like, well, this is what Wishvale is. I would have rather have had it from the jump. And this is all just me complaining. Like, you can now go through and do it, but I feel like it has an identity. Not to mention I have, like, just a gajillion fucking houses down because I've recruited so many people.
I got more questions about that. First thing, I want to shout out a super chat from Big Kurz MD, who says, "Hey Andy, let me blow your mind. The first letter of the character names in the first game spell Octopath."
Wow.
Yeah,
that's really
I didn't
cool.
know that part. That's fucking sick. Getting back, I want
miles per hour.
Whoa.
That's a big one.
That's huge.
That's a big one.
Getting back to the town building conversation, one of the bullet points from the game page on Steam mentions talking about the town building. Restore your hometown through town building. Invite companions and allies to live in a town of your creation. I know you just talked a lot about, like, the building aspect and opening it up and how that doesn't have, you didn't have it fully opened up until getting way later into the game. How do the allies and companions factor into it? Is there conversations you can have? Does it feel like a nice little hub area to come back to? Do you look forward to hanging out in the town?
I don't feel like I hang out in the town nearly as much as I would like to. What I will say is, when I finally finished not even the thing where I opened it up to everything, but when I finished the restoring Wishvale, whatever that quest line was, even though it kept going and there was more to do. At the end of every one of these chapters in these stories, you get a nice little piece of art that's like basically a charcoal sketch or whatever drawn, and it's on a page and it says Finn at the bottom corner. And when I got that one of my favorite characters, Stia, was in the photo, and she was looking back and she had a tear in her eye, and I teared up. Like so it is like I have that connection to Wishvale. I have that connection to the people in my town. Like I think you have the core group that you're introduced to early on of like, these are Wishvale residents. They're fucking, Fen, what up, bro? You know what I mean? Me and Stia, we're fucking rocking this goddamn thing. But then the more you add and the more you bring in, like you go out and you meet people in other towns and you can go over them and it'll be like, oh, well, if you brought me in and put me into, this is all, they're not saying this, it's on their, little page. You invite them in, they would, if you put them in the training house, people would train faster. They get more XP quicker, stuff like that. So there's buffs and benefits to go do that reason for it.
Random guy in town gets you wood, while you're out doing stuff. Random other guy gets you stone. Random other person's really good at cooking, so has more meals available that then pop up. But you have to house them first, I think, to get those.
Yeah. So it's like
it's pretty fucked up. You invite a lot of people, and then you're like, I don't have anywhere for y'all to stay. So you're
you
just kind of in
eventually
the
can
menu.
just place them out town, around town, or wherever they won't get the benefit. To your point, though, or to your question, the core group, 1,000%. The people who are running off and meeting who are old Wishvale residents that I'm bringing back, yes, I feel like this is great. I love what I'm doing here. I'm feeling a connection to the town to the point that I would tear up at the end of it. The other companions you meet that you can meet and bring back to town and then also have on your team, which you can cycle whenever you want to, right? That's hit or miss, where it's like, I meet some guy and he's got the orange bubble, so he's a side quest, and I go off and I do the thing, and we had to go shake down somebody who was bouncing him. They can be not intense, but like involved quests. They can be pretty simple. You can just get them and then they're there to hang out in your town and give you the buff or do the thing or be on your team. But my team was very hard to break into. Like I wanted Stia, I wanted Fen. Like there was other people I'm not going to get into that start joining up or whatever. There's characters from the original Octopath in here that I was like, well, come on, bro, get over.
Are they younger now?
Bring that. So yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, they're not like. It's not like Muppet babies. They're mentioning like there's one specific of like I guess
Tom can't even hold the sword.
I guess I could come off here and do this with you or whatever. So it's like they're there and around, but like it's not so much about them. It is you trying to get your town back to being a bustling metropolis or whatever. So it's not so much about the other people as much as it is about the praise I'm getting from both the Wishvale residents and then the core companions I'm using. Because you have them there, and you'll whenever you're back there, you can hit. For me, it's the little option button, right, and get your little party chat, like cutscene of what they're all saying to each other and them interacting, and that's cute for when I'm using these characters from the my quest or whatever. And then the one nerdy librarian lady, I'm like, why are you even talking? You sucked in battle. No one's weakness. No one's weakness is the fucking tome. Get out of here. You're worthless.
I got many questions now.
Sure.
Mainly about allies. I want to ask about your party.
Battle. We haven't even talked about battling.
It says choose from over 30 allies. I want to ask about that. I want to ask what a path action is. But before we get there, of course, you can super chat in with questions that you want to ask the panel. And you can, of course, go to kindafunny.com/Patreon or youtube.com. I don't know why I kept going because I nailed it there. You go to Spotify as well. Get the Kinda Funny membership, which allows you to get shows ad free. And speaking of ads, let us tell you about our sponsors.
The wait is over. Solo Leveling Arise Overdrive, the action RPG based on the popular solo leveling franchise, is now available on Steam. As I previously mentioned, I'm a huge solo leveling fan, and this game comes at the perfect time as everyone is patiently waiting for the next season of the anime. But now I can dive into this world and feel what it's like to actually be Sung Jin-woo as he continues to fight to become the strongest hunter. And I can even join up to 3 friends for some co-op raids to defeat incredible bosses and see who really is the best. If you don't know the story, players will work their way up as Sung Jin-woo, an E-rank nobody that no one wants in their raiding party, clawing their way up to becoming the powerful Shadow Monarch. Players can create their own version of Sung Jin-woo, customizing playstyles, skills, and even appearance, so you can create your own ideal version who really stands out from the crowd. Solo Leveling Arise Overdrive is available now on Steam, so get ready to experience Sung Jin-woo's next adventure.
This episode's brought to you by Sundays for Dogs. When it comes to dog food, it seems like you have to make a choice. You can either have fresh and healthy, or you can have easy to store and serve, but never both. but you don't have to choose anymore thanks to Sundays. Unlike other fresh dog food, Sundays does not require thawing, refrigeration, or preparation because of their air drying process. You just pour and serve. That's it. Sundays is fresh, air-dried dog food made from clean ingredients. Recipes are customized based on the needs of your dog, its size, breed, allergies, activity levels, and more. If it's not 100% all-natural meat and superfoods with 0% synthetic nutrients or artificial ingredients, then it's not Sundays. Thousands of dog parents have made the switch and reported pups with more energy, better poops, softer fur, and fresher breath. Moose and Toretto have been loving their Sundays, and I love seeing them so happy. Make the switch to Sundays. Go right now to sundaysfordogs.com/kindafunny and get 50% off your first order, or you can use code kindafunny at checkout. That's 50% off your first order at sundaysfordogs.com/kindafunny, sundaysfordogs.com/kindafunny, or use code kindafunny at checkout. This episode's brought to you by Aura Frames. If you are a last-minute shopper, don't worry at all. I have the perfect gift to solve all of your problems. No lie, Aura Frames are undeniably the best gift I've ever given, and I'm going to be sad when I run out of people to give it to because I'll never gift a gift this great again. Families, friends, partners, everyone loves being able to have beautiful frames showing off their loved ones and cherished memories. Multiple people at Kinda Funny have Aura Frames on their desks, and it's always a treat to walk by and see what fun memory is there. Plus, you can order the frame online and preload it with photos and videos using the Aura app, so it's ready to go right out of the box. There's unlimited storage, so you can add as many photos and videos as you like. Just download the Aura app and connect to Wi-Fi with no hidden fees. For a limited time, save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver Mat frames, named #1 by Wirecutter by using promo code KINDAFUNNY at checkout. That's auraframes.com, promo code KINDAFUNNY. This deal is exclusive to listeners, and the frames sell out fast, so order yours now to get it in time for the holidays. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply.
Greg,
Oh,
tell me about combat
I thought Greg had something.
and allies and party. Tell me about everything.
What do you want to know?
Gameplay. Let's start with party, actually. I want to know, when they say engage in exhilarating and strategic command battles, choose from over 30 allies to form a party comprised of up to 8 characters. Is that as overwhelming as it sounds?
No. And that's,
Okay.
I think, honestly, something that we rarely get to see / talk about in the preview review cycle. When I previewed it, not argument, but one of the things I was saying was like, it does feel really easy, and I'm wondering what's going to happen with that. Where it's like Octopath Travel, and this is always so hard, especially for me, somebody who quote unquote loves the series, but I'm not like crazy diehard. I haven't even completed the other two, right? But it's that idea of like, I do remember hitting bosses where I was like, fuck, this is not working out for me right now, and I need to figure it out. So in my notes, because I kept a little notepad with me as I went, right? I have it over here. Yeah. My first game over came 23 hours and 20 minutes into the game. I was level 26 taking on a level 28 quest, and I got killed for the first time. And I was like, okay, now 23 hours in sounds like a lot, but then you realize I'm 70 hours in now. And what's fascinating for me about my little notes is that they quickly go from, all right, cool, here's this thing, and what a great twist. Oh man, here's,
I love seeing a Superman logo.
Yeah, you know, I could like do it
kinda
In his
does.
notes?
Yeah. Well, it's like
Oh yeah, so I did.
Oh,
I have a
handwritten.
digital
I was
notebook
thinking
now that I love.
Google
that I've
Doc, and I was
taken
like, how do you get a
notes
Superman
Yeah,
logo
he
on the
drew
Google
it.
Doc?
But then they quickly turn to, okay, wait, it's this guy's battle, this, that, the other, where I'm like, I start taking notes about what I'm doing. All right, this guy, wave 1, he's weak to dagger, staff, ice. Okay. And then like to do, like you can make meals at home and then eat them to get buffs, right? But again,
I always forget to
for
do that.
however many hours you're playing, you don't need to ever worry about that. But then you get to this shit where it's like, fuck, now they're actually giving me the challenge, and they do it so. Kevin, something happened with the lights.
Oh, God.
They did it so gradually, right? And I think.
I was like, oh shit, Greg's coming in.
Could you imagine if Tim debuted a song finally and came out to talk shit?
Greg's
to me?
coming in to do a wrestling bit.
No, they did it so gradually that it never was overwhelming. And it's the same thing then with the crew, where originally the crew was, I start picking up different people. Well, first off, it was like, even in the early part where I was like, damn, I made it by that fight with this, by the skin of my teeth or whatever. I was using like I only had 3 people in the party.
Mhm.
It was I was like, oh shit, right. I forgot that this one I can have 8 people in here. I should really go, because you have 4 people fighting in the front, 4 people in the back row. You can switch them on their turns what you want.
Okay.
So like, it's not like you're doing 8 moves at once. You basically, you're doing your 4 moves, then they're hitting you back, and then you can switch out to everyone.
And the way it works is a boss might have like a big boss might have a number 8 with a shield, meaning they have 8 hits until they are dazed. And the way that you daze them is you look at their weaknesses, and you kind of start to learn how the game is played, because there may be 5 squares next to the boss's name, and one of them, the second one might be dagger. And okay, the first one is always sword.
Yeah.
So that means that they're also weak to sword. So I can hit him with sword and dagger, and then the sword will reveal itself to say, I'm
if
a
you want to
weakness
throw
as
up
well.
if you can throw up just a gameplay battle, Kevin, where there's shields and little boxes on the screen when they're like right about to fight. This is how it works in terms of you start every battle when you meet somebody this is perfect.
I
Kev.
see, yeah.
You don't know what their weaknesses are. So right here, let's just assume this battle was starting. You'd see the Forest Ratkin 3 up there with 4 question marks, and then you'd assume, based on where we're at now, 4 shields. But as your team starts using their weapons, you'd find, okay, cool, pole damage, they're weak to. You hit them with the axe, okay, they're weak to axes. Those knock off the actual numbers of the shield. The shield eventually breaks. This is called the boost and break system, and then you can unload attacks on them.
And if you look on the characters on your right, those are all your party members on the top right with the health bars and everything.
Yeah.
But if you look and see on the top right, like I guess all the characters actually, they have like 5 lit up dots above the health, right? And those are multiple hit things.
Those are your boost points.
Yeah. So like if the enemy is weak to axe and they have 3 shields, you can boost your attack by 3 times, meaning it's going to hit 4 times. Because your attack is 1, and then you could boost it by 3 times and use those little tick marks at the top, and you gain them every time you do a move that isn't one of those boost moves.
How does it look in animation?
It's like dun 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 dun. Yeah, and you see the damage hit, and then the shields get taken out, and then bam, the enemy is the enemy is dazed, and then it's like go everybody use your super powerful.
So then back to your point, Bless, it becomes this thing of early on, let's just overwhelm, break the shields, destroy, right? You have, if you're watching us right now, you see the HP and the SP on everybody, obviously your special points for your elemental attacks, your super moves using the weapons, yada yada yada. So it might, as you get going and you get into these boss battles, Bless, it does become this dance of like, okay, cool, well, I could, use all my BP right now to get Stia to use her axe to smash this shield, but why not just use one of hers, and then I see that I have 3 people on my little, active time battle, meaning that they can then break, because I know he's weak to sword, he's weak to this as well. Then we can come back in and boost our spells to make those like dropping, 999 damage or 9,999 damage. You start getting into that system, let alone, again, where I'm at now, where I've been using one of the characters in there. I don't know who's announced, so I won't. But he's got goad, right, where he can like goad the enemies to then attack him for, I think when I boosted, it's 9 turns now. And they'll come at him with all the physical attacks, but his evasion goes up as well. So I'm not having him attack anymore. I'm just having him do that so everybody else can get in their moves without having to get as ass kicked by this giant boss and stuff like that. But again, that stuff happens so gradually that it isn't overwhelming. And to my point that I was driving at earlier is like, when you're meeting these characters early on and adding them to the team, and then you finally get to, now I have 9 people, so I can actually choose who I want on there. There it's set dressing, right, really, where I think, what do you want to do? This character seems cool, right? They come in with their dagger and their axe, and they're from this tribe, and it's cold, but they refuse to. It's like, oh, this is cool. And you bring them in, but it's like, it's not until hours later that I'm in a battle where I'm like, man, you're awesome, but useless in this fight. I need somebody who has fans. So let's get a fan person in there that can use the fan attack. Or
imagine like the
not
the
like our
Japanese
fans. We're not sending kebabs out there to attack.
like the Japanese fans.
That's what I
Katana,
envisioned.
Which one has that?
Oh, you're talking about Mortal Kombat?
Mortal Kombat, yeah.
That's Katana.
Katana's that, okay, yeah.
One thing I'd like to, Kevin, if you can go back to one of those battle screens that you were doing so great on, if I get a hold on one of those, the other thing to call out is these ultimate skills. Your character has it based on the ring or whatever that you can use and use these attacks, and you can unlock more as you go. Right here, as we're looking at this, is great, Kevin. Perfect.
When is it up, by the way?
When do you get? I think it's just based on the amount of damage you're doing or whatever. It might be the number of turns. I'm honestly not sure. But you see that square on its side up there, right? That diamond on the very first character that's lit up there with blue up there. Eventually, these ultimates you can unlock for every character. So again, back to like what it's like here at the end game, suddenly everybody has a mastery skill and they're all different. They all do different things. So it becomes who do I need in this battle, or what's the best party management makeup here, right? For what I need in these fights.
Do you have to level up these characters individually?
So yes, but it's like you're at the end of everything. It's the classic JRPG battle screen. Again, I think it's faster than most, which I really appreciate about this. Sometimes this is a dated reference, but for me, it's got that half-minute hero vibe of like, especially I double the speed of the battles. I go in there, I just clown the people out in the open world, get there, the whole thing's filling in, and then I'm right back to running around to whatever my real job is or whatever.
Very quick, very active in that way.
You are getting XP for them. You're also getting JP, which are job points. You then can go into their things and change their skills, equip their skills, unlock new things. And then once you've unlocked all their abilities, then now you get into now it's mastery time, where Sia is always using double axe, so I'm going to go in there, and on that move, I'm going to keep putting points into to give her that move, make it even more powerful.
You also find like invigorating nuts, sour.
I got one for you if you need it.
Strong. You find like strong nuts.
There's these things you
defensive
find
nut.
in the world that you can then apply to the character to make their critical stronger, to give them more SP, to give them more HP, permanent
Tasteful
effects.
nuts.
And they're called nuts?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the
You're busting
permanent
nuts
ones.
left and right in this game.
I was collecting those for the longest time, not realizing what they were, and then I thought they were just consumables for battle, but they are the permanent things.
Oh,
Yeah,
gotcha.
Kinda like so, it's
So, like you're building characters
I
out.
accidentally
Yeah.
put way too many on one character, and she's just like
Like,
in any other. I got so many nuts on me.
So many nuts on me.
She in any other game she'd be a glass cannon, just a tank or a glass cannon character that's gonna have low health but like high damage.
Yeah.
Dude, she's got like 400 or 500 more health points than everybody else.
Nice.
I fucked up. Yeah. A couple things I do want to talk about in the cons section of of my enjoy cons. I think the game is really handholdy. There's not a whole lot of room for player discovery. You're not really just finding things. You mark and track the quest, and it tells you where to go, and that's it. And I wish there was a bit more like freedom there.
If I can, not to be that guy, I think that opens up the more you play.
Okay.
Where I'm with you. Very early on, it is very much like, okay, cool, do this. It also is later on, and I think it's because what are the cons? The overall cons people have for JRPGs in general, where it is just too obtuse. Like, what do you want? There are plenty of times where they are like, even now, hey, we need X, Y, and Z. And you're like, okay, cool. And then you leave and come back and hover over it, and it's like, it's found in fucking Flamesguard. Like, okay, cool. Like, I know where to go and find it, which on the one hand, I'm glad they're not wasting my time. On the other, it can be too much like that. But I think, again, to the like slow boil of, there was a moment I won't say obviously, but it was that came into an area and there was a person standing there, and then they engaged with me and started talking, and we started fighting, and I was like, holy shit, like this wasn't what I was expecting.
Yeah.
And now that like the training wheels fall off, I feel like after that, not really, some of them fall off after that first movie I was talking about, and then it does become like, okay, cool. Now
The first 24-hour movie.
I know. I'm not
20 hours.
That's why I'm not at all trying to be like, oh, actually, but I like, this is a noted con, but I do think that works to its advantage later on of like, I still now get excited when I see the blue chest because I can open the blue chest, if that makes sense. Right? And then even later on, they do more stuff of like, okay, cool, now I've built this building, but you need to put things in it, so you need to go find these things. And then
My another big con I have, and it's not even a nitpick. This is like a serious problem I have with a fucking game.
Yeah.
Don't give me dialogue choices if you're gonna ignore them and make me do the thing anyway.
That's a JRPG.
do you want to
Every no,
it's a
no, no, no,
do you
no,
want
no,
to
no.
follow me? Do you want to follow me or not? No. Well,
No.
you follow me. Come on.
Oh, come on. You know you want to be a part of this, and then you just go, don't give me the choice.
Yeah.
Just say, we're going to go to this thing next. We need you, man. That's all I need.
The reason they do that, because I've noticed this in so many JRPGs, is just that they want a reason for your character to talk. Like, they're like, what's the thing? Like, how do we elicit a response? And so they have to put it in your hands.
My
So
character
they give you two options that don't matter.
my character talks enough where, like, they'll be like, oh, and how's you? Oh, my gosh, I haven't seen you so long. How's your mother? And you see, again, I have dialogue off, but you see the little ellipses pop up.
Yeah, for the
okay, they
record,
do that thing.
To be clear, for somebody who's not playing the game or whatever, your character does not speak. They're a silent protagonist, but when they're asked questions, ... comes out. So they are speaking in world, but you're not getting VO from them. You don't know what they're saying because you're filling it in with your own head of like, oh no, I did whatever, and
Yeah.
And then the characters go like, oh shit, damn, that's too bad, or like, oh nice, that's great, or whatever. But it's there's no exaggeration. Again, I'm 20 hours in. I've had about 8 moments where I always pick no, just because I want to be disappointed and I want to be justified in my fact that I'm mad about this thing. That just don't give me the.
See,
chance.
and I'm so goody two shoes. I've never clicked it. Where I'm always like, this doesn't matter. Yes. Yes, I will follow you.
And you know, and there were times early on though that it wasn't always like that though. The later decisions became more of like, I'm mad that you have this even in the game. Just tell me to go there. Tell me you're coming with me. We got to do this thing, and have my character just do the 3 dots and all right, let's fucking go on this adventure or whatever. But the first several times, maybe there were several situations where I'm worried about, I don't know if I'm going to come back here. Do I want to go with them yet? I'm going to hit no. Come on. You feel a lot. You feel you're passionate about this cause. And then you just go with them. It's like, oh, that sucks. And everyone is like that.
Yeah.
And again, my issue is just like, just don't put it
Just
in
don't
the
do
game.
it, yeah,
I'd be
yeah.
totally fine with that. You're hurting the RPG in this if you're not letting me role play as somebody when somebody goes, yeah, do you actually still want to fight them? No? Oh, come on. They pissed you off though.
Yeah.
Let's
And
fight
so
them.
The illusion of choice.
And this is a
Yeah.
conversation we've had on Game Awards conversations, so as a group or whatever. But I think this is back to it of like, are these just turn-based games, right? Where this is the first time when I say I love role-playing games, audience knows, you guys knows, I'm talking about Bethesda, I'm talking about Outer Worlds from Obsidian. I'm talking about that kind of game, right? Whereas the JRPG, the turn-based RPG, for the most part, usually I'm like, this isn't, I want choice. I want my choices to matter, da-da-da-da-da. Whereas in this game, it might be the first time, and I did not grow up with playing Final Fantasies and having that affinity for those things, right? This might be the first time where it really clicks of like, the role of like, cool, you're my healer. So I'm only doing this. And now that I have these mastery moves, I know you use your arrows all the time. That's what I use you for. So I'm investing in those. You're my arrow guy. That's your role, which isn't me carrying water or making excuses. It's just for the first time that kind of makes sense to me in a way of like, I'm with you of like, I would love it to be like, who do you want to help? What do you want to do? Why do you want?
I had some people in the chat educate me and give me a little schooling on this. Is that when Dungeons and Dragons became very, very popular, Western game developers took the decision making stuff from RPGs, and Japanese developers and Eastern developers took the stats,
the numbers,
and the numbers stuff. So like you create a character. I saw somebody in Twitch chat ask, "Can I select my skin color?" Yes, there are 8 skin colors. There are 8 eye colors. There's 8 haircuts. They all. Also, another little fascinating thing, very woke, this game, they always call you they.
Oh, that's cool.
Whether you're, masculine looking or feminine presenting or whatever, like they always just say they, which I think is like a neat thing to do, but also just like...
It's just lazy though.
but it's also not that hard to just say like replace all the he's with he's, and that's a very easy thing to do. But
they miss something.
Yeah, they always
or
go,
there'd be a the that gets changed to like the she. The she.
Oh, you don't know them? They're the chosen one, or like that happens. But yes, it is still, you are picking the class that you want to be, and then midway through you have a new job that you can unlock. And now, because I started off as whatever character, but then I realized I like the idea of like the chosen one being this more magical person. So I am role playing in that way, where I like doing more magic type stuff because it is turn based. Normally I will stick with rolls and dodges and parries, but we have plenty of good people in my squad that can do that. So what if I lean more towards like magic? And also your drip is sick. Like you're not ever replacing your armor. Like each class has its own set armor. Mm-hmm. So if you are set to be the whatever mage, cleric, whatever it is, you have like a purple robe, and it just looks sick as hell. But the hunter might have like a green kind of like, leather, whatever the fuck, they look like a hunter, and then the warrior might look a certain way, but there's no customization visually there. It's just whatever class you are selecting in that moment, or whatever class you have moved to, that's how you look.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna mention, but I think you hit the nail on the head already as far as like tenant-wise, the difference between JRPGs and Western RPGs design-wise. Yeah, the way it goes back to JRPGs, it's about the numbers, right? Western RPGs, as far as what the RPG isms are, usually lean towards like the choices and like the, I guess party and like how you treat party and all that stuff, right? Like I saw somebody in chat earlier say, how's this a JRPG, but Red Dead Redemption 2 isn't a JRPG? And it's like, I don't think
well, Japan.
yeah, like Red Dead Redemption 2, take that up with like Fallout and Western RPGs and what those do as far as what makes it one or not. JRPGs, as far as how they operate, yeah, like the choices. I'm so used to playing a Persona, or I'm so used to playing games that I'm making a dialogue choice, but I know my dialogue choice doesn't mean shit to this game.
Which is a bummer, because I think it just like as I'm doing this and kind of annoyed by it, there's still a part of me that's going, but maybe this is a dialogue on something, and maybe it's a, you're the chosen one. Destiny will make decisions for you anyway. I'm hoping there's like a deeper meaning, but I think it's just bad game design if it's not that.
That makes sense.
I'm hoping that like in another world where I finish this game and I play 80 hours of it and I roll credits on it, that like by the end of it I'm like, oh my god, that's the reason why none of my choices were letting me pick no, because there was always this guiding hand or whatever. But I doubt that's the case, and it's just kind of annoying to hit those spots.
We've said a lot.
We have.
Have you guys talked about path actions? 'Cause
No.
That's one thing that I saw on the store page for this game, where it seems like they make a bigger deal out of it, right? Use path actions to invite people to your town, engage in battle, and obtain items. Where you go and what you do is entirely up to you. Greg, what is a path action?
So path actions have been an Octopath from the get-go. They change them up a little bit here in terms of what it is. Like Octopath Traveler 2 is the one I'm most familiar with in terms of recency bias. But you would have your group with you, and you'd have a thief with you, and you'd have whoever could talk to them and interrogate them or whatever. And you'd walk up to people in these towns, and rather than hit A to get whatever general dialogue from them, you could hit the other button, and you would get the option to steal from them if you had your thief with you, to interrogate them if you had whoever with you, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now giving you your chosen one, they've boiled it all down there, and I think personally streamlined it in a way that I enjoy more. Again, when I would be hours into the other games, get a new person and have a new option, it was almost like, I don't want to steal from this guy. That's not what I would be, you know what I mean? That's not the crew I'm running with kind of thing. So here they've boiled it down to what? It's investigate, then it's either entreat, which is like you basically ask them for free stuff because you're the chosen one, you're here to help the town. It kind of...
They may own like 5 items, and you can buy them from them, or you can haggle them down, and it'll tell you...
Well, not even that yet. That's when you want to purchase. So I'm giving you the options here, right? Of the first one's investigate, which is like you ask them... First off, you see what your chance for success is in all this stuff, right? So it's 100% for lots of times. It'll be 5% for somebody who's tough that you have to come back for, yada, yada. Anyways, you find out more information about them and also tell you what items they have. Then it's either going to be entreat, where you can say... You don't actually say it, but go in there and try to get their stuff for free because I'm the chosen one. Why not give me this thing? Blah, blah, blah. There's another one, where you can buy things from them, but on top of just buying it, you can haggle from them. So you can go in there and you'll have a percentage chance of getting something at half off or, dirt cheap or whatever. Then there's, you can ask them to come or recruit them to come be a part of not your party, but one of your helpers, where you can say, hey, come be or that's hire, I guess. Hire them.
I don't know the difference.
I do. I just misspoke. Okay. Sorry. You can either, for some people, get them to come be a helper, which is in battle. You have a little tab there called helpers, where you can do your move. You can use your magic spell. You can heal. You can do your physical attack, but you can also then do a helper attack, which would be depending anything. Could be, I'm going to give great sword damage. I'm going to heal the entire party. I'm going to raise criticals. You do that, it doesn't count as party. It doesn't go against your turn. So you get basically a bonus action from somebody. You can pay for those people, or you can actually just ask them depending on what the deal is and get them. Then there's, the recruit people to come to the town, come live with your town, invite them to do that. Then there's another one where you can fight them to get stuff.
So there's like, I guess the problem that I had was recruit and hire. I couldn't tell the difference because you're still asking them to be a helper.
You're recruiting them to be a helper and it's free. And then hire is you're paying them to be a helper, and you have to pay. You have to have coin to pay them.
Gotcha. So so they become the helpers, which is a really cool system, having those extra moves.
And it was that thing forever that I ignored, not ignored, but like I filled up the helper team, and I was like, all right, I never was thinking about using them. And then late game, when it is I need to use this great bunch to hail the entire team, but I can also at least get one in to break that shield. Sometimes it comes down to that where it's like, I just need one more hit to break the shield, and this person, that entire section, right? Those 2 guys I can swap between on that turn, neither of them are going to have the weakness.
I guess there's 3 versions of it, because there's hire, you pay them, or you can haggle them, and there may be like 60% haggle success rate. So you could be like, hey, actually, I'm going to try to haggle you down, like whatever you're charging. And if you fail, you'll get like a little negative tick, and it'll be like, hey, your reputation with the town has dropped.
Mm-hmm.
And if you fail 4 more times, then you can't really talk to NPCs. But 60%, that's pretty good. I might do it again. I failed again. I might do it again. All right, now I hire them for cheaper. Then there's recruit, which is for free, where you're just like, hey, come be a part of my squad.
Come through.
And then there's impress, which is I fight you to show you that you should like just be one of my helper guys, right?
Yeah.
And they're not a part of your squad. They're not a part of your Octopath. They're just a random dude. And the impress is really cool because you could get really strong dudes to come through to like town guards. And I fought one last night that was like I'm a level 26 and this dude was like a 32.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to beat him. It felt great. And now he's in my little helper squad and he's super strong. And then the final one is invite.
Yeah.
Right.
Bring
And
him to town.
the invite one is just like, come be a part of Wishvale back.
Something I think that's interesting that I would call it from my personal experience. In the reviews I was seeing today, there was mention of grinding, of like, it's a turn-based RPG, there's going to be grinding. There was only one battle where I got my teeth kicked in and I'm like, I'm not strong enough. So it wasn't even so much that I had to grind, like I just ran around the open area. I went and did the other side stuff to go do that I had open.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say the reason I think grinding wasn't a bigger deal for me was that everybody I could impress or fight or whatever I did. So I would stop and do that for every person that I would talk to and battled. So I think that kept me leveling at a better pace maybe than some reviewers.
Andy, what are your final thoughts about Octopath Traveler 0?
A surprising video game. Really have enjoyed it. If Night Rain weren't out in an hour, if Night Rain DLC wasn't out in an hour, and if Metroid Prime 4 it
Out in an hour?
comes out Western,
No.
yeah,
No.
comes out at 3 p.m.
No.
today. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So if Night Rain wasn't
Jump on
out
that stream, isn't
very
it? Or is
soon,
that what you
But I
gotta
haven't
do?
finished it. Like, do I need to finish it to play the DLC?
no,
Okay.
you only need to beat 2 bosses.
Okay.
But like, yeah, if there weren't so many things, I mean, I'm surprised that I even put this much time into it because it is sticky. It grabs you. You want to learn the mysteries. Once I got past the stuff I didn't dig, like I was still coming across amazing story moments that kind of just get like, what the like in my bed alone with the X-Real glasses that Tim lent me, his older ones, just like sitting there and just be like, what the this is like insane stuff.
Dude,
it's really good.
I'll tell you after this, obviously I won't spoil it. But again, for that third movie, like the start of that third movie, there's a character they introduced voiced by someone. I was like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? Like they're burying this post credits, like this
gotcha.
entire thing that flips everything on its head. Awesome.
Yeah, really
Neil
enjoyable.
Patrick Harris. Is the voice.
I am Neil Patrick Harris.
Michael Cera.
I've come through a time portal.
Stone Cold, 1 beer, 2 beer. Yeah, I think it's a very enjoyable game. I think if you dug any of the other Octopaths, it seems like this is going to be another one you're going to want to get.
Greg, what are your final thoughts here?
Octopath Traveler 0 is a 9 out of 10. It's an amazing game. It's my current game of the year. I need to go back. I want to finish during break here, or I guess just post this. I need to finish Donkey Kong Bonanza. I was enjoying quite a bit before I got sidelined on that. But I'm so happy that I found this. I have felt broken as I've tried to talk about not liking turn-based and that not being really what encapsulated it. And it's totally got me. Man, I'm enjoying this so much. I will continue to play this, and I want to go back. Like, I never did a Live Alive. You know what I mean? Like,
Dude, I love Live Alive.
I know you do. I know you. Yeah, sorry, Live Alive. I want to do that. But it's the same thing of these games are always so big. And there's always so many other things to go play. Sea of Stars, I was enjoying and ended up stopping for a different review and never made my way back.
Live Alive is shorter. Live Alive, it's like a 25-hour game.
There you go.
Sea of Stars I should have gone back to.
Yeah.
Or I should have just played it, period. And,
yeah, this is one of those. I adore it. It's going to be criminally underplayed, I think, like they all are, but that's what makes them, classics and cult classics like that. So super happy to be here.
Pretty massive year for big, chunky, quality games when we talk about Silksong being $20, Expedition 33 being $50, and this being $50. Really cool.
Yeah, I didn't realize this was a $50 one. That's
Yeah.
cool. Well, ladies, gentlemen, MBs, thank you so much for hanging out with us, talking all about that Octopath Traveler 0. Of course, this has been the Kind of Funny Gamescast, where each and every weekday we get together and talk about the biggest reviews, previews, and topics in video games live on YouTube, Twitch, and podcast services around the globe. We don't do that at the show. If you love
Do what I
we do,
want. I made this fucking show.
support us with the Kind of Funny membership on Patreon or YouTube to get all of our shows ad-free and get a daily exclusive show. You can catch today's KFGD on YouTube or podcast services. And know that until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.